everyone, welcome back on the Sunday afternoon. I hope you're all excited to do a quick little project, a lovely project that can decorate any one of your pages in any theme journal. I thought I'd share with you how I go about doing my page edge decorations. Alright, so it's Angela here if you haven't been here before, and good to spend some time with you. So I'm hoping this won't be too much of a long video because I know we all like to relax a little bit more on a Sunday. But here we go. Right, I've gathered a few things here. Now, when you're making any journal, you tend to have a lot of these types of scraps or even narrower ones like this. I like to use these in a multitude of ways. I sort of set myself a little target to try and use up as many of the bits and pieces that remain after I've made a journal. So I like to gather these, and what I do with these is basically just take my fingers and I tear little bits in funny shapes. Well, not funny, but you know, this sort of a shape depending on the size of it, so that this sort of a thing really. You can even do it with longer strips or whatever. I tend to sort of go with slightly wider, so I tend to, you know, I don't have a set thing other than I just look at what I'm cutting. So this kind of a bit, you know, depending on what you have. And I try and use up as many of my scrappy bits, the narrower ones, as I can. Now, I've done that so that you didn't have to watch me with a number of colours. So this is all to do with my Christmas kit, because I'm trying to finish that to share that with you ASAP. I've got all the colours that I used with all the background bits in here. So that's what I do. I make a load of those and I throw them all onto my table here. And then I sort of just separate them out into types of colours. So I've got reds, lighter reds, greens, blues, golds, whatever. All right, and then I start putting these together. This is sort of my first step for this. So I would go and have a look at my page, or sometimes I'm just doing this in front of the telly. I take a piece. This is quite a neutral base, and then I'll take another one and put it that side. So this would be for a right-hand page, and then I just find something a little bit more patterned, so something like this, and I put that onto the side there, and that's the sort of base. And then it's just a case of gluing that together, and I'm going to show you what I do from there. Now, sometimes I stitch along the edges. I don't always, but sometimes I do. It's just how I'm feeling at the time, and you can go and ink these edges or whatever you want to do. So that's the start. So whenever you've got these narrow strips, go and tear them up, collect them, or, you know, I tend to do it at the end of when I'm coming to the end of my journal decorating. So that's the first thing that you want to do. The other thing I like to do is I like to use sentiments. I'm going to show you how I do that. I use a lot of cutting out. So let me just grab this page over here. So for example, a page like this, where you've got a lot of elements, I like to cut those out, and I use them a lot for decorating. So that's what I've done there. I've also gathered these poinsettias. You can use paper flowers. I'll show you how I do that as well. These poinsettias came with the ribbon pack that I got from Plum Boutique, but you can get these wherever you need to. Little bits of fabric. So if you've got any long strips of fabric, I do tend to collect mine in a little container here. So if it was a strip like this, I like to take these, fold them in half, and do things with that as well. You know, lots of little strippy bits. Usually need about 4 to 5 inches in length. All right, so that's what I've done here. So I folded this over double because it's nice soft gingham and really thin. I've gathered the top edge, and I've done the same with ribbon. So for example, here I've got 5 inches of ribbon, and this ribbon is, I think it's 16 mils, somewhere there, 15 mils. And then I've just sewn at the top of the ribbon. You just gather that all up, you know, like that, pull it all together. And then what I do is I tend to gather these little end bits that the strings, hold those up to the top here once I've pulled it all together. And then I tend to just hand stitch those two bits together like that. Now I tend to do it a little bit wider so that when I've sewn it I can tuck it underneath there and stitch it flat. Alright, and then once you've got that in place, you can sew your button on the top there. So that's what I do with those, and that's one with ribbon. That's one with fabric. So I've made like a yo-yo or a Suffolk puff type thing there. But you can do the same with lace, and I'll show you. I've done one with lace as well. And then of course buttons. I use buttons for all sorts of things, page edges, tabs, these sorts of things, just everything. I love buttons. So, you know, I had quite a lot in here. I've worked quite a few away already. So we'll be using those. So those are just some of the goodies I'm putting to the side over here. Right, I have put some bits together in trays. I'm going to show you how I do some of these so you get some ideas. And then we're going to put it onto a page. So this one is quite simple. Let me just grab my page here. Okay, so I have a plainish page over here, and what I want to do is stick some bits and pieces down over here. All right, so we start off, I've got 3 little bits here. These sort of tie in with what I'm doing. Well, they all do really, but you know, you can give this a little bit of distress ink like that, and you know, that's all up to you. And then you want to take your glue and you want to start putting these together. So I like the brighter piece on the top really, or actually I had it like this, I think. I can't even remember, but yeah, so I'm going to put it on the side. So it's just a case of getting some glue there, sticking that together like that. And I might want it a little bit shorter, so just line those up so they're straight. I think that's important. And then another little piece, and I'm going to put some more glue, sort of not quite to the edge, like that. And I'm going to stick it just over here in the middle, like that. So that's as easily done. Now you could stitch across there if you want, it's purely up to you. All right, now I just take this and you want to just glue this onto your page. So that's the next step really. All right, and then I've just pulled this one out a little bit, and you want to just get that down onto your page like that. All right, there we go. Well, what is that? That's a little piece, but you're not going to see it. All right, so you've got this little scrappy bit over here now. Now it's just a case of getting some die cuts. So I'm looking at what remains of the die cuts that I have, and it's just a case of finding where you want to put these. And you know, this is just personal choice and trial and error, having a little try. I sort of do similar things with different elements effectively. That's what I do. Okay, so I'm going to stick this one, and I've got a little red one as well, if I can grip it. So I've got a little red one here, and I've got a green one. So I thought I'd put the green one closer to the top, and I'm just going to let it find its place like that. There we go. And then I've got a red one, which is, I think this is a bit of glitter paper. It feels like it. I think I've got the backing. I must have tried to use this and then changed my mind or something, but I just want to pull that piece off. Okay, so now I want to just get this one a little bit over like that. And then again, I'm just going to sort of manipulate it where I want it. There we go. Okay, so we've got those there. Now with this one, I'm just using one of my tiny little sentiments here. Let me just grab my distress ink. So this is a sort of basic version of what I do. And then I'm going to just stick that a little bit out to the side. And I've also got one of the candy canes that I fussy cut from that page that I mentioned to you earlier. So we want to just take that and get some glue on there like that. I'm just positioning these where I feel I want to have that. So yeah, I think we want to stick the sentiment down first. I do love the sentiments. Right, so I'm going to put that sort of there, I think. And then I'm going to take the little candy cane and just position it at an angle like that. There we go. All right, so there's our first little one done. Now you can add other things, like if you wanted to add another sentiment, but I'm not going to because I'm quite happy with the one there. I think that's a great start to just lifting that page and not having it be so bare. Okay, so that's the first one. Okay, so that's the page we've just done, and I'm going to just taking it out to make it easier. I'm going to do something on this side. Right, so I've taken a gold sort of background, some lime, and I'm going to put a little bit of red there, and I'm going to stick that down. So again, same sort of pieces again, but just different colors based on whatever you feel you want to do. So this one will be slightly different. I want to just get that stuck down like that, and then get it stuck onto our page. Oh, it's really nippy here today, and I'm in the throes of getting my craft room sorted. So this is not the room I will be in, so luckily this one's still intact, but just bear with me with what I'm doing. I'm trying to, you know, do too many things as usual. Right, so we've got that one there, and then what I thought was I would take another two die cuts. So that's like a darker green one. I'm going to put that over there, and I'm going to stick that over there. So let me do that quickly. Okay, so you can see I've just stuck those two down there, and now I fussy cut out one of these from my background pages, and I love doing this. I think the combination of these with the actual die cuts are amazing. I just love how it all comes together. So I'm going to just take this and I'm going to just position it just over there. So we've got some nice berries, and then one of these little poinsettias, as I said, and with this I'm going to just take the back off. I think I might just add some 3-in-1. I hope it's going to just, you know, give it a little bit more stability just in case. And I'm going to stick that down, so I think I would like that just over there. So I'll hold that quickly. All right, so because I have no sentiment or anything there, I'm going to add a little bit more to this page. So what I've got is, I've got one of my sentiments again, all is calm, all is bright. Love these. I love how the Christmas sentiments worked out. So I'm going to stick this down just at the bottom here of the page, so close to the bottom. And this is really just adding a little bit of excitement to an otherwise pretty plain page. So yeah, this is a great way to use up your scraps, and I hope that you're inspired to try this. And remember, it doesn't have to be a Christmas journal. It can be any journal. I've done this with pretty much most of my journals. Right, we've got a little robin that I fussy cut out from that background page, and also same page I've cut out this little bit that the robin's going to be perching on. So we're going to get him on there first. Yeah, so like that. Gotta love a robin. There's so many beautiful Christmas birds, and every country's got different ones. So yeah, you'll have to tell me what yours is. I know about cardinals, but that's all I know, cardinals and robins. So you see now it just looks like there's berries and he's perched in this Christmas tree. There we go. So now we've got one that looks like that and one that looks like that, and I love how that's coming together. Okay, so I've got one of these background pages now, and I've just put together 3 little bits here. So brought in a bit of the blue this time, and again I'm going to just stick it on the edge of the page there like that. And again, I'm going with 2 die cuts or 3 die cuts here. I've got a green one, a sort of snowy one, and a little, just a suggestion of some red in there. So I'm going to get those stuck down. So yeah, I'll put those together quickly. Okay, so I've just got my little green one stuck down there. It is boring watching me glue, so I'll just try and eliminate as much of that as I can. And now I'm going to just put on my snowy bit, snowy bows. So we've got those there, a little bit of glitz. And then I've got a little bit of a red sprig here, and I thought I'd get that ready because I want to just see. I've got my 2 paper flowers and I've sewn on a button there, so I brought in a bit of the blue, and that's going to go there. But without that, I just thought it needed a pop of colour, so I thought, right, if I put that there, then we'll just have to have a little bit of red, and I think that's just going to lift it. Look at that. Yeah, so that's what I've done there. I quite like that. Right, and then with the sewing on of the paper flowers, which I love these, you know, you can just finish it off. So you can use anything. You don't have to use the flowers. If you've got punches, flower punches that punch out petals, you could make your own. So I don't actually have any flower punches, but I do have a lot of these that I've had for ages, and you can get some of them from Amazon as well. Right, so I've got that there. Then again, I'm just going to take a little sentiment. Never lose your sparkle. Very important for Christmas. You know, lots of things happen at Christmas and not always nice. So yeah, you know, especially when families get together, isn't it? The extended family that haven't spoken to each other for ages. Right, so let's stay happy and not lose our sparkle. I'm thinking, should I put this? It might be a bit, because of sparkle, I wanted to put on a snowflake. So let's just pull this off here. Right, so we're going to put something glitzy over here. So there we go. That's nice. And then I was thinking maybe I don't want it too glitzy, so that's why I'm looking for something just to go on top of it. So I'm going to use this 3-in-1 glue quickly. It's the first one I grabbed in front of me here. And sometimes it can be difficult to stick things on top of glittery paper. So there we go. There's that one. So another one done. Okay, so I've pulled out a red page that was opposite my music page with the wreath and that on the back, and I've just stuck down 3 bits that I've stuck there now. And now again, I'm just going to put on one of these little green ones. So I'm going to get that towards the top like that. Okay, and then a little red one, and that again is going to just go a little lower. I love it with the green and the lime, so the lime and the red, sorry. And then what I did was I again cut out one of my little stars from the bauble page. I want to just get that sort of up there like that. So I've got that there, and then again I've taken some red ribbon here, and I'm going to just stick that like that over there, a little bit like this. All right, so we can get that stuck down as well. So once you've made a little pot with all the little elements in it, you know, got all your little bits ready, then it's fun putting all of this together. I enjoy it, you know, and you can do a lot of this in front of the telly, get your little bits and pieces done, and then assemble it all, which is the fun bit, I think. And I think it makes a big difference to the pages, especially when there's nothing on them. So yeah, while that's drying there quickly, again, I'm just going to put a little sentiment here. I love sentiments, if you haven't noticed yet. Naughty or nice? What were you this year? A little bit of naughty is good, isn't it? Naughty is me eating things I shouldn't eat. You know, that kind of naughty. Or playing pranks on my children or something. I do it now and then. Right, so we want to get that there. And then I've just got, again, a little bulb. I think this came from my mini kit. Now, don't forget, on Tuesday I'm going to show you how I am adding my mini kit's elements in a completely different way to my this journal. So if you're interested, let's just get that a little slightly angled. There we go. Oops. And there we go. So there's that one as well. We're getting lots done today. Now, as I said, this is going to look great in any theme. So, you know, it gives you something to think for your next journal. Okay, everyone, I hope that you've enjoyed that. Very basic little tutorial, but really effective, I think. I think it just adds something to a page that has really not much on it. Now, don't forget, you've got to add on, for if you're following along with me and your Christmas journal, which this is pretty much, I just need to bind it all together and finish off a couple of bits, so it won't be long. My little advent pouches that I shared with you before, let me just grab those quickly. All right, so these are the advent little pouches that we made. So you want to be having one of these with each one of the days of Christmas. These are ultimately going to clip onto the page. I'm not sure which, I'm going to put them in order, but you know, they'll clip on there. I've got little pegs for mine, but you can use paper clips if you want to just attach that to the back there. I might do that. I did have some little paper pegs, that's the word I was looking for. So I have got these. I don't know if I'm going to use these or what, but I will definitely share that with you when we do the flip through, which will not be too long, too far away. All right, so don't forget to go and do these. If you haven't seen these are in my Etsy, and I think this is in my website shop. So it's all the little pockets and all the little cards that go inside the pockets, and we did do a video on that, so get those all ready as well, so that you can add those to your journal pages, because each double page like this will have one date on it. All right, thank you everybody for following along with me. Go and have some nice Christmas lunch now. It's nice and cold here, so I'm definitely going to have something nice and warm. I will see you again on Tuesday, and I will do possibly the last little bit that I wanted to share with you from here. And then Friday I'm hoping to put out my new kit, so do look out for that. All right, have a lovely weekend, what remains of your weekend, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye bye.